Hi, I'm Ez from Champagne and welcome to the Soulmating podcast. I'm a wedding singer in Perth and I thought, wouldn't it be great if I interviewed couples that have been married forever so that the whole community can hear their stories and hear their secrets and how they've made it work because I just think I would like to know for myself and I thought there might be others who would be really interested in that juicy content. So I want to say a big hello and welcome to Julie and Keith. Hello, welcome.
Hi.
Thank you so much for coming here today. And I met Julie and Keith through the wedding industry because obviously you're a wedding celebrant.
Mm-hmm.
A love story, Julie
By Julie Chesson.
Chesson. There you go. So thank you for being here today. And I know I have to ask first of all before we start, so you've been married for 41 years.
Mm-hmm.
That is just unheard of these days. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I have to ask Keith, what did you do on your 20th wedding anniversary?
We did it sort of as a surprise to each other. We each organised something, and I was a bit overweight and that sort of time, so I used to run up and down to lose some weight to get into a costume. And I hired a sailor's outfit.
Oh, nice.
And I went into the Vic Park, picked up, came home and started getting changed while Julie was at work at the doctor's surgery. As I was getting changed and getting ready, our daughter came home and she really thought I'd lost it because she wondered what I was doing at home playing dress-ups. But I'd hired a limousine and I got into it and we went to the surgery where Julie worked, and I'd previously organised for the radio station to play our song at that time. It was 12 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
But unfortunately they couldn't do it, so I got the girls at the reception to actually put it on as I came to reception. So I knocked on the door, and generally people don't knock on the door, they just walk in.
Yeah.
So Julie ended up opening up the door, and there was a standing with 20 red roses as she came in. So we went from there to a restaurant.
Oh, that's
in
so
his
sweet.
uniform.
And you were dressed up as a sailor.
Yeah. Well, officer and a gentleman, actually.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Oh, that's so sweet. That's so gorgeous. What was your reaction to that?
Well, I was in one of the other rooms and the girl said to me, oh, someone's at the door. And I looked out the window and saw this limo and I thought, who comes to the doctor's surgery in a limo? So
your husband.
Yeah. So I opened up the door and here he is standing with these 20 long stem roses in this white uniform. So I said to the girls, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to get someone else to come in because I'm going.
Yeah.
And I was just so excited. Aww. So we jumped in the car and went to a really nice restaurant in Sorrento and we had lunch. But I thought my present was fabulous but wasn't as good as his.
What was your present?
My present was I chartered a flight that night to fly at sunset over to Rottnest and back.
Wow, that's pretty epic.
It was.
That's stunning.
We had the best day.
Oh, how beautiful.
Yeah, we had the best day. Something we'll never forget.
Couple goals.
Yes.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Well, I mean, after 20 years of marriage and now 40.
41.
Plus 41. Yeah.
42 in February.
Oh, that's incredible. I mean, you should celebrate. Yeah, it's amazing. How did you meet each other and how did you know, like what was it about the other person that made you know they were the one for you?
Let you answer that.
We used to work for an insurance company, Colonial Mutual in those days, which had a big office in Perth.
Met at work, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And I was in the accounting side of it, and I always remember Julie walked in the first day. She was up on the next floor, second floor, but she worked in the first floor. And she walked in with her light blue uniform and it instantly clicked straight away.
Wow, love at first sight.
Yeah, but me, being me, I sort of stand behind everyone. I don't come out of sort of thing.
Shy guy.
Yes, definitely. But
Not really.
And
What was it about Julie then? When it was love at first sight for you? Like, just
It definitely was love at first sight.
aw, how old were you?
I would have been
You 20?
20.
20, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
20.
that's so sweet. Love it.
But
So you just
we
walked
didn't-
into the office and he was like, my wife.
Yeah.
But we didn't really start going out till I was about 22.
Really?
Yeah.
So you secretly loved Julie for
Yeah.
2 years.
But he used to do, and I had no idea.
You didn't know?
No, but he used to do weird things like he would get my paper clips and he joined them all together. So when I'd go to get a paper clip, they would all be joined together. So he'd do all these really weird things.
Did you know he was doing that?
Yes, I knew
you
it
knew
was
it was
him.
him?
Yeah, well, it had to
Aw.
be him.
Why did you do that? To get their attention.
And then he started saying to me, don't catch the train. I go to my sister's every week for dinner. I'll drive you home. And I went, no, just catch the train. No, I'll take you. So when I eventually met his sister, I said, you're such a nice sister to have your brother every night, once a week, for dinner. And she said, what are you talking about? He hasn't been here in ages. He lied.
He was lying to get you in his car.
I just like driving up Kalamunda Hill.
Oh, that is absolutely gorgeous. I love that.
And it wasn't
That is
it wasn't
funny.
a car that you didn't notice because it was a bright lime green SLR 5000 Toronto.
Oh.
So you could see the car a mile away.
Oh, that is just beyond gorgeous.
But he had to sell that car when we bought our first house because he used it as a deposit, and now they're worth over $100,000.
Oh, wow. Oh, well, pick, the house or the car,
But it was worth it, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, well, that's so beautiful. So then it took 2 years, and so you lost like 18 kilos during this. Like, was that because you were trying to attract Julie as well?
Yeah, it was
Really?
because
Wow.
I lived up in Kalamunda, but I used to run up and down Les Moody Hill.
Yeah.
And I also started playing rugby, so I started getting into the swing of things, and
Oh, that is so gorgeous.
One day he had to go off to training, and I was upset because I wanted him to stay with me. I didn't want him to go to training.
Yeah.
So he fell asleep on the lounge. So I painted his toenails pink and then put his socks back on. So when he went to training, all the guys saw his pink toenails.
I love that. It's like revenge,
That's
but
it.
funny.
Yeah.
But you can't be mad about it.
No.
That's so sweet. Oh, well, beautiful. So I guess, like, what would you say is different about you as a couple? Like, how have you managed to make it work? Like, what are some secrets? Is there a secret? Like, is it just that you were both good people that just was just lucky enough to fall in love? Like,
No, I think you have to work at it. I think with marriage, communication is the main thing. You have to be able to communicate with one another and never go to sleep angry. In 42 years that we've been living together, Keith doesn't go to bed without me. If I'm up working late, he will go to sleep on the lounge, and when we're ready to go to bed, I'll wake him up and then we go to bed. So
Keith, you're just adorable. Oh my God.
Yeah, but sort of sometimes when Julie goes away, Eastern States, for a couple of nights,
You just stay away?
I
he
cannot go to
sleeps on the
bed.
lounge.
Oh.
Yeah, so I watch all the late night movies and things like that.
Oh, you guys, honestly.
Our kids think it's really sick.
Kids. No, that's so beautiful. That's absolutely gorgeous. So when you say communication, I mean, I've heard lots of people say that, but like, what do you mean specifically?
We have a date night every once a week.
Yeah.
So at our date nights, that's when we get to talk.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just get busy with your lives and you just forget to talk about the things that matter.
Yeah.
So, and to us, we matter.
Yeah.
So how can I marry other couples if I don't put 100% into my marriage?
Yeah. Okay. So can I ask about the date night? Like, do you have to take it in turns organising it? Because look, I tried that with my husband and I just got sick of organising it all the time. And I was like, you're not putting any effort into the date nights. You just want us to watch movies at home.
Well, sometimes we just go out, we just go out for dinner. But I remember when the kids were little, when you've got young children, you just don't have the money to go out.
Yeah, so what did you do then?
So then it's really funny now we think about it. Because the kids used to go to bed after Fat Cat,
Yeah.
we used to tape Fat Cat and we'd play it early so the kids have to go to bed. And then we'd put them to bed and I would set up like a romantic dinner. We'd have like candles and I'd cook something. I'd cook his favourite meal and then, you know, if it was birthdays or Christmas and we didn't have the money to actually, you know, go out and buy something, we would do like gift vouchers. So, you know, I'll do the dishes for the first week or, you know, a massage or so, you know, you don't have to have a lot of money to spoil one another.
So thoughtful. It makes me think about love languages when you say, you know, I'll give you a massage or do the dishes. Like what are your love languages, would you say?
How do we show our love to one another?
You know how people say there's acts of service or there's words of affirmation or there's physical touch or there's gifts and I forgot the other one.
Every night before we go to sleep, we tell one another that we love one another.
Yeah.
We always try and make time to have a cuddle.
Yeah.
Because affection's important. And I don't know.
Have you ever had a fight?
Oh, yeah, we fight. Not very often. Not very often. But we're not like normal people that fight. Keith goes outside and does the gardening and I scrub the house. So the kids came over.
And it's
clean.
clean.
We go, have you had a fight?
The garden's
scrubbing the shower.
And, the toilet's clean. Yes. Like, Mum and Dad are not okay.
But we don't really... Well, you know, we might have a difference in agreement, but we don't really fight. Not a lot, do we?
How is that possible?
And when we do, we hate it. We just don't like fighting. Like,
what do you fight about?
I don't know. What do we fight about?
Well, it hasn't been for ages.
No, I can't remember the last time we had a fight.
Oh, my gosh.
No, I cannot remember.
Yeah. Oh, that's really bad, isn't it?
When was it that I brought you flowers last time?
Yeah, I don't get flowers as much as I used to get.
So, is it how you make up? You buy her flowers and that makes the fight over?
Yeah, but we don't have enough fights for him to buy me flowers anymore.
Oh, well, if you want flowers, Julie, you're going to have to start being a bitch. It sounds to me like you just both are lovely people. You chose a lovely partner and you're just together in your loveliness. Well, when you had kids, so you just sort of had those little – I remember you saying, you know, you always put Keith first still. You didn't put your children first.
No.
How did you practically do that?
Well, it's just hard when you have children because you're tired. Yeah. You know, you're getting up and doing night feeds. Our son was 3 hourly. We had the 2 girls and then the boy. Yeah. And our son was 3 hourly until he was 9 months old.
Yeah.
So you're tired, but I think the main thing is to, you know, even if the kids stay up a little bit later, I used to put them to bed and say, well, you've got to read a book or you've got to, you know, go to bed because mum and dad need time. And you need to tell your children that it's important that mum and dad have time together.
Yeah. So
we always made time, didn't we?
Yeah. Yeah. So you just enforced their bedtime routine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I suppose we were lucky because my mum would babysit. So one year we would take the children away on holidays. The next year we would go just the 2 of us.
Yeah.
And they always knew that one year was their year, a family holiday, and the other year was just for mum and dad.
Yeah.
So that really helped, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful role models. Well, that's amazing. I mean, I just can't even think of couples that don't fight. I mean, that's just like, you know, I guess you must have your communication sorted. But have you ever felt, I know a big issue for a lot of couples is like, you know, insecurities and things like that. Have you ever felt that or are you just both quite secure?
Keith is the one. Keith is the jealous one.
I'm very insecure.
But
yeah, you work around it.
Yeah. How have you overcome that? Well, I know how you come to all of Julie's wedding gigs.
And he actually comes to the funerals with me. He drives me there and then I'll go and do the service and then he'll go to Bunnings or he'll go to the shops or he'll go somewhere. But the funeral staff always say, have you lost your license? It's like, no, we just want to be together. And it means that I can relax on my way home and check my phone messages and you know what it's like.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I would be lost without him.
Oh, you are so adorable.
So he truly is my best friend.
Yeah. Oh, that's so beautiful. It's so gorgeous. Can I ask, what advice would you have for couples? I mean, how do we create what you've created?
Just got to make time for one another.
Yeah.
You just got to make sure that your husband or your or your wife is your priority.
Is your number one thing. And how does that look practically? Like,
well, if they're not your number one and you put all your time into your children, it's like a flower. It'll wilt and it'll die.
Yeah.
So, you have to nurture it. And, marriage is not easy. And, you do have to make, you have to make adjustments and you have to compromise. So, I danced my whole life since I was 4.
Oh, wow, you're a dancer.
So Keith doesn't dance at all.
Yeah.
But, as I say to our girls, our daughters, there's no such thing as a perfect man or a perfect woman, but you have to work out that you've both got a lot in common and that you both have to compromise. It's like when people, Keith drinks red wine.
Yeah.
I don't like red wine.
Yeah.
So, we just have to make sure that you work together. Yeah. And same thing with children. We made a pact that we would always stick together. And if we disagreed what the other one was doing with the kids, we would wait till they go to bed and then we'd talk about it. We wouldn't argue in front of them.
Yeah.
So
did you come from did your parents both show you that example?
No, mine was the opposite. My dad was an alcoholic.
Oh.
My parents separated when I was 13.
Oh, wow.
So that was I didn't want to do that.
Yeah,
I wanted to make sure that I would never fight in front of the children.
Oh.
And yet Keith had the fairy tale parents. His dad used to write these romantic, beautiful cards right up until he passed away, and they were just together right until the end.
Beautiful. So, I guess, Keith, you're the way you are because of the example you were shown, but also, Julie, you were shown what not to do.
That's right.
And you chose to be different. And interesting that you didn't marry your dad because you know how they say you marry your mum or you marry your dad kind of thing. You sort of broke a cycle there, I guess, in choosing someone different.
So when every time I do a wedding, it's really important to me that the bride has that time with her dad because my dad didn't walk me down the aisle. Keith and I walked down together.
Yeah.
So it's a really special moment. It's a moment that should be cherished. So I always tell them to, just take those few moments and stop before you walk down the aisle and just cherish that moment.
Yeah.
So
it's special to have that relationship if you're lucky enough to have it because not everybody does.
No, that's right.
Yeah. Oh, that's so beautiful. Yeah, thank you so much. I guess can I ask a spicy question?
Yeah, sure.
How important is it, do you think, for couples to be having sex in their marriages?
Yeah, very important because it's and it's not even about the sex sometimes. It's
intimacy.
That's right. So it's really important that you both give one another what you need. And everybody needs affection. Everyone needs to feel loved. Yeah. So, I know that Keith would, he'd swim the oceans for me and I would do the same for him.
Yeah, you guys are like the perfect couple.
Oh, we're not perfect. We still
from what I've heard. I mean, what's not perfect about this? Yeah, it's so beautiful.
The only thing we do worry about is when something happens to one of us.
Yes.
Because we don't know how we're going to cope.
Can you just both die at the same time?
I would hope so. I would hope so.
Because what are you going to do?
I know.
People won't be able to sleep if you die. And who's going to drive you to your gigs and set up your PA?
Well, we hope we don't have to worry about that for a long time.
I guess, it's probably better to have what you have and have the loss you have than to never have at all, right?
That's right.
But I do agree with you. I guess cross that bridge, when it gets to it one day. But I guess to know that you've had this in this lifetime, it's something that not many people have.
That's right. We're very blessed.
Yeah, but you've created it as well, so you've worked hard, you've chosen every day to prioritize the other.
Yeah.
So you have made active choices to create the relationship you have, and very lucky that you both didn't marry an asshole.
That's right.
So, because some people do just have that bad luck of, I thought I was marrying someone nice and they turned out to be nasty.
That's right.
I don't know. Is there any last tips or thoughts or things you want to add or anything?
Just the the husband's really got to get that nod right.
The yes, dear
Yes,
nod.
dear.
Yeah. Can you just demonstrate that and talk us through that?
Yeah.
Just like that.
Very rarely does it go that you get a crick in your neck.
Not side to side.
No.
Because, yeah.
Yeah. He's really funny when we do weddings because I like my music really loud.
Yeah.
And Keith doesn't like it really loud and he's right next to the speaker.
Yeah.
So I will look at him and I'll go like, like this.
Yeah.
I turn it up.
Yeah.
And he just looks at me and smiles and goes, no. And there's nothing I can do.
He won't turn it up for you. That's his one little power trip.
That's right.
I won't turn your music up.
That's a rebel coming out in him.
Oh, thank you so much for your time today and for sharing your beautiful love with us. It's so special. It makes me a bit emo. It's so beautiful. So, yeah, thank you. And it's always lovely whenever I see you at wedding ceremonies and I see, there's Keith and he's carrying your PA and he's setting it up and he's taking photos of you and you're just shining like the star you are. And I just think these two are just adorable.
Well,
but you're as adorable as I thought, like even more adorable than I thought.
I wouldn't be able to do it without him. It wouldn't mean as much. Like, we talk about it all the way home and we talk about our couple and we talk about what they did and then we look at the photos that Keith's taken and so it's much more than just a job. It's, a passion.
What do you think you'll do when you get to 50 years? Is there a plan?
No.
Probably go back to our usual haunt.
Yeah.
We go to Bali.
Yeah.
Couple of times a year, so I'd say we'll be going there.
In a sailor costume?
No, not this time.
That's beautiful. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
I feel like you deserve a medal. I mean, society doesn't really, seem to give you a certificate or a medal or anything, but you deserve one.
No.
So congratulations and thank you for being here today.
Oh,
Thank you very much.